we are going to sit there, okay? And I just need to put the microphone on you. Okay, so maybe I... Can you put this there or...
Okay.
No, here. Oh, here, okay. We're going to sit there. I will sit there, okay?
Professor, what readers will find in your new book? Em português, Menos que Nada, Hegel e a Sombra do Materialismo Dialético, Professor.
Of course, it's basically a book about Hegel's philosophy. So this may not sound very attractive, although those who know Hegel knows that already Hegel's system is all penetrated with insinuations and jokes. For example, when Hegel wants to explain the dialectical unity of opposites, he a couple of times uses the strange example of penis, which is at the same time the organ of the lowest urination and of the highest insemination, and so on. But my main concern is the deadlock of the left in today's global politics. How we all feel, although capitalism is still prospering, that there is some kind of a potential crisis looming, that something has to be changed, but there seems to be no capacity of the left to formulate again a global project the way the left did it 100 years ago with communist revolutions and so on and so on. I think that we have to return to the very origins, to critically ask, was it already something in Marx which was not developed enough, and which, not that Marx was responsible for it, but which in a way opened up the space for later Stalinism and so on. We have to start asking radical questions.
Professor, you start the book by asking the question, why do we focus on Hegel today? Then I would like to ask you the question, why Hegel?
Because Hegel, for two reasons. First reason, you know, I don't know how it was here in Brazil, but generally, worldwide, there were two in academia, academic circles, two orientations fighting for power in philosophy or pure theory. On the one hand, cognitive sciences, which simply want to abolish philosophy in the old sense and replace it with scientific brain studies or quantum cosmology, whatever. The idea is philosophy is that science can today answer what once were metaphysical questions. On the other hand, this cultural studies, whatever we call it, post-structuralist, deconstructionist historicism, which is a kind of a historical relativism. Everything is historically conditioned, and we only have, so we shouldn't even ask what is true, we should only ask which discourse is predominating, how do we change our discourse, and so on and so on. I think that especially this second orientation, historicist cultural studies, is coming to an ending. It's clear that philosophy proper, asking the big questions, as it were, the big metaphysical questions, is returning. And here I think Hegel matters. Why? Because I think there is a clear parallel between Hegel's time and our time. Hegel's time was the time of the end of traditional society. The modern world was emerging, but it wasn't yet clear what this new world will be. It was a moment of tradition with great confusions. And I think our times are similar. It's clear gradually that capitalist modernity as we know it is coming to an end. But it's not as clear as it appeared to some Marxists what is the next thing. The situation is much more open. So I think the point is not to return to Hegel the way he was, but as I say, to repeat Hegel, to repeat the same gesture, as it were. And here I think, again, Hegel is, and I'm not, so that you will not, or my readers will not think that this is an eccentricity. I'm not alone here. There is an extraordinary explosion of top quality Hegel studies, not only Hegel, but also other German idealists, Kant, Fichte, Schelling, all around the world.
Just repeat Hegel or overcome him?
Overcome by repeating. I don't mean saying the same. I mean repeating in the sense of doing what Hegel did, but better than Hegel, the way it should be done in new times.
And why Lacan? Why you propose we should read Hegel through Lacan? How Lacan contributes to
My
it?
thesis is that what Lacan demonstrated is that psychoanalysis is not simply a technique of psychiatry, but involves a deep questioning of our metaphysical presuppositions, and as such is deeply relevant for philosophy. Usually, Lacanian psychoanalysis is read as simple rejection of all metaphysical pretensions and so on and so on. Of course, I must admit, I'm here reading Lacan against his own letter. Lacan was more and more fanatically opposed to Hegel. He started as a Hegelian, but then moved more and more against. My thesis is crazy, exactly the opposite one, that Lacan was not aware of his own Hegelianism. So this encounter, Hegel-Lacan, is, I think, profitable in both directions. Only through Lacan can we really actualize Hegel today, like function as Hegel would today, not just repeat the same abstract, often stupid things that Hegel was saying, and on the other hand, only by Hegelianizing Lacan, reading Lacan as someone at the level of Hegel, could we really see Lacan's achievement. That's really a tremendous intellectual revolution, which is not just one of the orientations in psychoanalysis.
So as we can read Hegel through Lacan, we can read Lacan through Hegel. Is that right?
Absolutely, yeah. That's my entire thesis, that many notions of Lacan, which appear mysterious or whatever, can be clarified in a wonderful way if read through Hegel.
Professor, the last time I tried to make it, I was counting the number of your books. I believe it was like 75. Do you have this number? Actually, I'm curious.
It's not so much, because it's in English there are about 20, 25. And I'm not so young, you know, I will be 64 in 2 weeks. And but there are many collective volumes, recombinations, whatever. No, I'm not totally crazy. I know philosophers who write much more. On the other hand, I don't believe in this type of geniuses who, you write one book and everything is there. Look, to produce 100 pages of great text, you usually have to produce thousands of pages of preparatory texts. And all great philosophers were usually writing like crazy, even in a very repetitive way. Like usually philosophers, no philosopher, even Hegel, did simply develop a system, but they were always returning to the same point, trying to reformulate it again and again. Like the great examples would here be the German idealist Fichte and the father of phenomenology, Husserl. They were basically writing again and again the introduction to their philosophy, no? And all philosophy, there is a melancholic aspect to it. It's like Samuel Beckett would have said, fail better. It's a high-quality failure.
Professor, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.